sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, take my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya.
Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to North Bloomfield Township for this special presentation of the OH Report. It's the 50th Northmor Cross Country Invite. So you're looking high above North Bloomfield Township. The boys' race is underway, and the boys will be coming out of the woods for the first time after their start. Travis Berardi alongside Brian Skronsky when he has a second. He's the one giving you those beautiful drone footage of North Bloomfield Township. If you look just to the left of your screen, see that white line? That will be where the boys will be coming out of the woods right now. It's such a nice summer that we've had that all these trees are still fully bloomed. We can't get too much shot of inside the woods, but trust me, when they do come out, you will find them a few times here in North Bloomfield Township. We have the boys running first, then the girls will as well. We'll have interviews of both winners. They'll be our MVPs for the day. Great trophies. First and second place for the team. Get medals for, I believe, the top 10 finishers here this afternoon. And there they are. There's the lead pack right now, looping back around into the woods. You'll see this a lot. You'll see the leaders come out pretty early first. I see purple and red, so we could have Mount Gilead there, we could have East Knox, Bucyrus, Loudonville, Buckeye Central, Fredericktown, Northmor. Some of the best small schools from around the area running this, and it's the 50th year. It's crazy that they've done it so many times. Great crowd here today as well in this cross-country invitational to kick off the season. They already had the early meet at Fortress Obetz. We'll have the finishers try and get some times as well. Great people at Bombs Page are down here today with the official times. Also have the OHSAA. This is an actual OHSAA sanctioned event. It's a very good indication of who some of the best teams in the state are at this afternoon. Let's look at a couple of the runners coming around. This is a tough track. You have elevations. Got to go through the woods as well. Some hills. Some turns. There's a wooden ramp that I see the leaders are starting to come out right now of. So you take a look at some of the fans. Right beyond the set of fans is where we will have some of the runners coming out. They'll loop right back in. You see their heads coming around right now. They'll go back into the woods, make another lap to where Mr. Skronsky is, as you see, just to your right of your screen. That's where our runners are making the turn right now. They'll go right back in and come right back out towards the north end zone of the football field, make one more lap. They'll come back out that, up a wooden ramp, and they'll make their way to our broadcast spot for the finish. So the boys, the leaders, about halfway done already here this afternoon. We will have the boys race and girls for varsity. There's also 7th and 8th grade squads here that will race later on this evening. There is the start of where you will see the girls go off. Start at the end of that practice field. You see with the lines, they loop around and come back towards us, then go into the woods. Perfect setup here for a cross-country meet. Very popular, like I said, with the smaller schools. The Lucas Cubs are here as well. Highland, one of the bigger schools. Galleon as well. Here today, Marion Pleasant, Loudonville. Only thing going against us today is the heat. Brian Skoronsky here running the drone. He's sweating. It's like we're backed out in New Orleans again. Bringing the heat out here today. Speaking of the Golden Knights football field, we'll have their game against South Central live and free Friday night from the Castle. Beautiful facility they have here at Northmor. Should give a shout out to Blade Tackett and Company. So you see some of the runners in the back making their way back into the woods, but you'll see the leaders coming out here shortly as well. Sun has gone under the clouds, which will help out some of these runners. The runners will come out. You'll see right along that fence line right here. Some of these 7th and 8th graders running the path now, but that's where the runners will come out to where the finish line is right here. As we continue to look at these runners. I ran half the course and I feel like I'm about to keel over, so have a lot of respect for some of these runners. Getting ready for some of the runners. That's the loop. The first and second laps, they'll go down the left side, make the loop around, and come back where you see some of these runners are running. And there is one of them coming up around here now. There's the finish line. We are moments away from the runners making their way here for the end of this meet. That white tent, that's where myself and Brian Skoronsky are holed up in. They will come out by that set of bleachers by home plate, make their way right down the fence line and loop right back in towards us. So you will be seeing these runners come out here momentarily. Some of the last participants you see making their way around the turn back in. Actually, that's a coach. I don't think the coach is going to run the whole thing, but getting set up for the next race. There's one of the runners. I want to welcome everybody watching this afternoon, live and free, right here on the OH Report. give us a shout out. Let us know where you're watching from this afternoon as we await the finishers. Hopefully in between the races we will have interviews not only with the winner but also with some coaches as we see the front end. High school boys, we've got Northmor, Buckeye Central, Bucyrus, East Knox, Elgin, Fredericktown, Highland, Loudonville, Lucas, Pleasant, Gallion, Danville, Centerburg, Mansfield Christian, Old Fort, and Ridgedale. As you see, here comes our first finisher. And that is a Northmor Golden Knight winning his own meet. There is our champion. I believe that was our second place finisher to Olive Highland Nathan Strebe last season. Strebe has graduated, as we see our number 2 finisher making their way around the corner now. And here he comes. It is a Highland Fighting Scott. Will finish in second place. And a race for third coming up. 3 runners right here. This is Marion Pleasant. Finishing 3. Ridgedale ekes out a Centerburg Trojan for 4th and 5th, and here they come now. That's Bucyrus, Pleasant, Northmor. Another Trojan, 2 Trojans, so Centerburg might be in here. And this is where it's kind of hectic because all the officials trying to herd cattle in their actual order as they get through, especially if a bunch finish. Bulldog finish. Here comes Highland. Another Freddie from Fredericktown. Finishing here, the boys meet. Here's our 13th place finisher. Here's 14 and 15. Marion Pleasant got a good showing. Fredericktown as well. So we see some of the finishers coming through here. There's a Golden Knight again. Bucyrus with a couple finishers here in the top 20. Great. I just got respect for these guys. Heat index towards 100. There's a Lucas Cub finishing, as well as a Buckeye Central buck. Getting Northmore shirt that's right down there. I think he finished first. Can you grab him?
Yes.
Thank you. Still looking at the finishers here. Another Trojan. So take a look at our drone shot. Another Bulldog from East Knox. And here's some more Golden Knights coming through. Also Elgin, Bucyrus making the turn. Highland as well out here. Middle of the pack coming through right now. Some cool angles here today. We will be talking with our winner here once we finish up here with the boys' meet. After we get our finishers, we'll take a quick break, get into our MVP, and then to the girls' race. Couple Galleon Tigers finishing up.
Hey, Maddie, see if we can find out who took second and third. Mike, and if we can wrangle them over here.
I believe second was the guy in the headband. Third, I don't know.
So just a reminder, Northmor had the first finisher. Highland had number 2. We'll get official results here once everybody finishes. Thank you all for watching here this afternoon.
There's a website you can find it on.
Barcode off. Let's go land this instead of better.
Good job, Brandon.
Here we go.
Ryan. Barcode for the end.
We'll get our winner here in the MVP segment, but let's get our second place finisher up here right now. Throw that on there. Let me know. What's your name, sir, from Highland?
Matthew Miller.
Matthew Miller from the Highland Fighting Scots finishes second here at the Northmor meet. What grade are you in?
I'm a sophomore.
Sophomore? Pretty good meet. What was your time?
It was about like a 1750-ish.
It's a little bit harder here in this heat today, isn't it? Especially with the way the weather's been the last couple of days.
Yeah, this heat was really hard to run in.
Tell me about your race. How did you run it today?
I started out strong, and I kind of just tried to speed up a little bit, stay where I was, and stay as like consistent as I could to even my splits.
You're only a sophomore here. You got a good finish early on. What are some of your expectations for the season, especially after a showing like this in this heat?
I'm hoping to get like in the lower 16s at the end, toward the end of the season, and that should be easier with like not as much heat.
Oh, absolutely. You wanna make an appearance down at Fortress Obits for the state track meet this year? Is that something you want to make at the regionals? What do you like to do this year?
Yeah, I would love to make it to state. That's a goal I've had.
Looking at some other competitors in the KMAC, who are you looking at to run? That you're looking to run towards the top within the meet, especially our finisher from Northmor. He's finished in the top 5 a couple years. What would you like to do there?
I'd hope to just get a little closer to him and try to stay with him a little longer before he like gets away from me. And then it's because it's like hard to it's like almost impossible to catch after he's gotten too far away.
Gotcha. All right, you want to give anybody a shout out? Maybe watching you from home today.
Thank you, family, for coming to watch me and the support you've had.
There you have it.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. If you want to, where's our third place finisher at right here? We have our third place finisher. Get your teammate in here. Bring him in. Yeah. He's got a medal on. He finished somewhere in the top, so let's get his. Yeah. Go ahead, give him the headset.
I feel important.
Where'd you finish today?
12th.
12th? Not bad. Top 15 finish here at Northmor. How do you think your race went on? First of all, give everybody your name. Let us know where you're from Highland.
Cale Gilmore.
Cale Gilmore, 12th place finisher here. Tell me about your race. What were you looking to do today?
Well, I came in, my hip's a little messed up right now, so it was questionable on whether I'd run or not. But I decided to because it was feeling good.
So you feel like you did a pretty good, darn good job, especially with the hills and the heat today.
Yeah. I got a little cramped up after the first mile, and then it was just slow after that. Hip started killing me.
What are you looking to do here this season for Highland?
Stay with him.
You want to get close, get some points for your team, right?
Yeah, my PR last year was a 17:05, so if I could hit 16s, 16:30s, anywhere around there, that'd be good.
You guys think you can do some good in the MOAC meet this year? You think you guys can finish towards the top as a team and then yourselves as well?
Yeah. How did we finish last year?
I think it was, I don't know.
Top 10, I think.
Top 10, yeah. And I apologize. I forgot you guys aren't in the KMAC anymore. You're in the MOAC. So, good start for you guys. They just had the early bird meet. This is one of your first meets. What do you want to do? I know you're going to go up against some tough competition in Shelby, one of the tops in the state, things like that. But you think you can keep with them?
Yeah, I stuck with one of their guys last year. I don't know if he graduated or not, but hopefully beat him now.
All right. You want to give anybody a shout out?
Good job, Matt.
All right, there's 2 finishers from Highland, number 2 and number 12. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will have our champion right here live and free from the Northmor Cross Country Meet.
Ohio Health is the official sports medicine provider of Northmor High School. Available 24/7 to care for your athletes with same-day appointment options. We keep your athletes healthy and in the game. Ohio Health is proud to partner with Northmor High School to provide a healthier community. We are healthcare experts close to home, serving teams, parents, and all of Morrow County. Ohio Health. Believe in we.
Time now for our Morrow County Hospital MVP. It is today's boys champion from the host, Northmor Golden Knights. It is Ryan Lehman. Ryan, who finished second the last 2 years in this race to Nathan Strebe, who has graduated from East Knox. You finally get that gold medal. Congratulations, Ryan. First of all, what was your time?
I think about a 17:10.
17:10. It's good enough for the winner by quite a few seconds as well. Just take me through your race. This is your home course. You're used to this. What were you able to do here in this heat today?
I kind of like to just go out fast, see who wants to race, and go out if anybody can hang with me or pass me. Hopefully they burn out, and hopefully I can have enough for those last 2 miles.
Did you use the heat to your advantage today? You know your limits probably in heat like this, even though we haven't had in the last couple of weeks. But did you use that to your advantage, knowing this course as well?
It definitely helps to know the course, know where the hills are, where the shade is, especially on a hot day like today, yeah.
All right, Mount Gilead, one of the top teams in the KMAC, not here. One of the top runners in the KMAC, no longer here. That makes you one of the front runners, I believe, for a KMAC, even though Mount Gilead didn't have their guys here. What are your expectations for this season, knowing you've ran here a few years, you've gotten some top 5, top 10 finishes? What do you expect out of yourself?
Kind of just hoping to break into the 15s and get our team back to state, see what we can do there.
And what about KMAC-wise? I know Mount Gilead, you were talking about, they're probably the front runners, but what do you guys need to do to stick with them?
I just listen to our coach, work hard in practice, work on slowly catching up to Parker and Will and those other guys, yeah.
All right, finally, if you want to look in that camera, give anybody a shout-out that you'd like, go for it, my friend.
Shout out to Lucas Weaver. He graduated last year, but best training partner you can ask for. He definitely pushed me to where I am today.
All right, there you have it. The 50th Northmor Invitational Boys Varsity Champion. That is Ryan Lehman from the host, Northmor Golden Knights. Congratulations. Go get you some water and celebrate.
Thank you.
We'll take a break and be back to wrap things up for the boys race and to start things for the girls right here live and free on the OH Report.
Ohio Health is the official sports medicine provider of Northmor High School. Available 24/7 to care for your athletes with same-day appointment options. We keep your athletes healthy and in the game. Ohio Health is proud to partner with Northmor High School to provide a healthier community. We are healthcare experts close to home, serving teams, parents, and all of Morrow County. Ohio Health. Believe in we. Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
You can't do it, they don't know they're
Today's 50th annual Northmor Cross Country Invitational brought to you live and free right here on the OH Report. Thanks to our generous sponsors, Andy Bauer, Edward Jones, Financial Advisor, Morrow County Hospital, providing great care locally so patients do not have to travel far to receive quality expert health care. Also want to thank Ruth's Farms, a Northmor sponsor. They specialize in bred, born, and raised freezer beef since 1948. And I tell you myself, it is some good freezer beef. We've had it ourselves. It's been amazing. Call Zach Ruth, former coach here of the Golden Knights, to order yours at 419-989-0341. That's 419-989-0341. Frito-Lay, we are driven and inspired by our purpose. Food that matters for life's moments. And we also want to thank Andy Bauer as well. Thank you to all of our sponsors today for allowing us to be live and free right here on the OH Report. Whether you're playing Andy Bauer, Edward Jones Investors, whether you're planning for retirement, saving for college, grandchildren, or just trying to protect the financial futures of the ones you care about most, Andy can develop specific strategies to help you achieve your goals. There we go. Our sponsors today for this, the 50th annual Northmor Cross Country Meet.
Three, two, one, let's go!
Ohio Health is the official sports medicine provider of Northmor High School. Available 24/7 to care for your athletes with same-day appointment options. We keep your athletes healthy and in the game. Ohio Health is proud to partner with Northmor High School to provide a healthier community. We are healthcare experts close to home, serving teams, parents, and all of Morrow County. Ohio Health. Believe in we.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
And they're off. The girls race here. Varsity girls in the 50th Northmor Cross Country Invitational underway. Talked to you saw the boys, Ryan Lehman of Northmor winning it this year. Nathan Strebe also watching today. Nathan, thank you for watching. He congratulated Ryan on our YouTube page. If anybody else wants to leave any comments on our Facebook or YouTube, go ahead. I'll read them off to you this afternoon as you see the girls making their trip around the start-finish line. They'll go around all of their tents and then into the woods. You see the beautiful views from Brian Skoronsky.
Captain.
And the captain of his drone. Do we have a name for the drone, Brian?
It has not been named yet.
So he's going to be on the headset here in a little bit. We'll figure out. Maybe if anybody else has any ideas for the Skoronsky cam, we'll get that out there as well. You see some of the leaders starting to break out a little bit. They'll wrap around, come towards us, but then back towards the start, finish line, and the woods.
My conscious have a voice. Hey, Nito.
They'll actually, here in a moment, be heading towards our own Madeline Zizzuto's cam.
Let me know if you have anybody. Okay, coming to you now. Gotta remember, I think I'm coming to you. Yep, you're up.
There's the leader. That's Fredericktown, or Loudonville, actually. Talked to Loudonville earlier. This one of their athletes saying she had a good chance of winning this time, and she's out in front. And like we did last time for the boys' race, we'll get a couple of top finishers, and then our MVP will be the winner of this girls' race. So you see the rest of the pack making their way. They'll loop around, go back towards the start-finish line, but right before they reach there, they will make a right and go right into the woods. Go through the woods like the boys' race, pop out by the north end of the football stadium, go up towards the administrative offices, loop back around, go back into the woods. Then they'll pop out right by the camera that you're looking at right now, loop into the woods, take another lap, come back out right there, and then come towards us in center field of the old baseball stadium to finish things off. Took the boys about 17 minutes. Took Ryan about 17:10 to finish his race. The girls finished just a little bit after them, so between 18 and 20 minutes you'll see the winner. But we are underway here with the girls' race, and there go the leaders into the woods. A little bit cooler in there. And I mean, I'm standing here underneath the tent, and Brian and myself are just sweating.
Because he's got maybe 20 more kids that are in view, and then we'll know that.
Once the boys' results also get uploaded, we will have them for you. So once those results get posted, if not, I'll go over and take a picture of the ones that are up against the wall, and we'll let you know.
That's kind of what I want more than anything. But... All right.
So underway here.
All right, Madeline, you got anything in there right now? I just need. We've been on this train for a while. Okay, stand by. Coming to your dog. You are up on the.
Canine cam's back. How about that? We usually say this for softball or baseball season, but it's a perfect day to put the good boys and girls out there. Looks like that one, that good doggy got a fresh haircut, stay out in this heat, cool down a little bit. Also, you see those trophies, that's what they'll be running for, the teams. Top two teams from the boys and girls varsity, as well as 7th and 8th grade, will get those two trophies off there in the distance. As you take a look at the beautiful foliage here in North Bloomfield Township. We do have times from our finishers. Ryan Lehman actually gave himself a couple extra seconds. The Northmor Golden Knight finished with the time of 17:08.08 to win it. Second place was Matthew Miller, who we talked to. 17:50.71. Those are the only two runners under 18 minutes today in this heat. Nick Swartz of Pleasant finished third, 18:07.98. Brogan Weston from Ridgedale, who just eked out Carter Boggs of Bucyrus. Brogan with an 18:14.80. Boggs slowed it off after he got passed up and finished with an 18:22. Finished just ahead of Elijah McGinnis of Pleasant. He finished 6th with a time of 18:23.11. He finished .37 ahead of David Blunk from Northmor. So just eked him out. So two Golden Knights finish in the top 7. 8 and 9 both go to the Trojans of Centerburg. Alex Regal finished with 18:28.39. Greg Beard from Centerburg, 18:30.79. And then rounding out the top 10, Logan Whitney from East Knox, 18:39.77. We'll finish with the other three runners who finished under 19 minutes. Cale Gilmore from Highland finished 11th. As we see our leader from Loudonville coming out.
is a young lady from Loudon.
And with some distance as well, establishing a lead right now early on here as we come towards the halfway point here in North Bluefield Township. Kill Gilmore, 18.44. Aiden McManus from Fredericktown, 18.46. His teammate, Brandon Hogg from Fredericktown, 18.54. There's your top 13 finishers from today. And once we get done with both races, we will find out our winners from both sides. And there is our leader taking her lap around. She will make her way back through the woods and then come out right by our camera person, Madeline Zizzuto. Now you saw some extra lines. That's for the junior high race. They won't take 2 laps. They'll take 1 lap, loop around, and then make their way back here. Those are the 7th and 8th graders. We'll have streams of both. We already had our stream of the boys. We'll finish with the girls' varsity race as well. And look at all the fans here. Great crowd. Place is packed. Blade Tackett, the athletic director of Northmor, very happy. I talked to him prior to the first race. Very happy with the attendance today, despite the heat. All the fans out here today. Once again, I want to welcome everybody watching live and free on Facebook and YouTube today. Let us know where you're watching from. I did see Zach Ruth of Ruth Farms gave a thumbs up to the stream. Eye of the Tiger Photography as well. Laura Art Trip, Rob Stewart, Kim Upchurch. Thank you all for watching today.
Rod Stewart? Oh, Rob Stewart.
And also Nathan Strebe. All Ohioan, East Knox runner. 2-time champion, multiple time, might have won 3. Multiple-time champion here at the Northmor Invitational.
Nope.
This is the 50th Northmor Invite.
Don't know. I'm going to have to find out when I come to you, but I'll let you know. Oh, he's got runners, so I'm actually going to hang tight.
Hearing a lot of cheers. Some of the other runners that don't participate in the race, they will go into the woods as well, stand beside the track to cheer on their teammates.
At a amusement park waiting for a bear to come out. And there's no bear. There we go. Nice pan of everybody. GoPro is this guy. So GoPro's up.
This is our second ever cross-country live stream. I believe we'll be at Seneca East for the Stars and Stripes once again as well. That was our first. So we'll be back out there coming up in a few weeks in the evening. Brian excited to take his, whatever we're going to call the drone, out to get the cool views of that. Now that race finishes on the track. Golden Knights like to keep it all on the grass and dirt, finishing here in the former baseball. As we await our leader coming through the woods.
Back to Brian then. Brian is back up.
Our leader, like we said, you're going to go through the woods. There's a creek that goes right by here. Northmor folks have built a nice bridge that they will run up, right back out, and then they'll take a turn right back into the woods to take another lap back up. Make another trip up the ramp bridge and down to our broadcast location.
You got one, and you're up.
There's our leader. Both leaders now. I actually think we might have missed our Loudonville girl earlier because she's so fast she just went right by. So those are our top 10 runners making their way up the ramp right now, back into the woods.
much she's able to get. Here's the shot if you want to see what she's able to do. But they're like coming out of here, and they're just going right back around.
About halfway point for the leaders.
Okay, so here's a slight shot. But yep, we're only seeing like their profile and their back.
The temperature's been nice here in north central Ohio for the last week and a half. Then today hit. Heat index in the mid-90s. Officially 84 degrees here in North Bloomfield Township. Feels like 90. .67% humidity. Real quick. 72% dew point, so it is soupy out here today.
Probably got like 3 more minutes worth.
All right, we got. Now, can you conserve that, or is that something that she's like that's about? Okay, so we're gonna have drone for about 3 more minutes, and then we're gonna be relying on camera. So we're gonna go to that drone right now. Drone is up.
There is the shot. As you'll see the leaders coming right back out there here momentarily. As you see, we're right over that white tent. That's where I'm at right now.
There's my hand.
Now you'll see that's right in front, just to the left of the baseball field is where they just loop back into the woods, and then off to the far right is where our leaders will be here momentarily. As you take a look at the beautiful new baseball facility and softball here in North Bloomfield Township, as well as the football field where we will be here all 5 home games for the Golden Knights, including Friday night as they take on South Central. They had a big win at Upper Sandusky. We also have the Golden Knights at Mount Gilead and at Danville, so 8 of their 10 games will be live and free on the OH Report.
Right. Okay, let me know when somebody. Nope. Okay, never mind. Then.
So now we making our way. So you see where the buses are to the right of that, looping around. Our runners will make their way around that, come back in, and make their way towards home.
Brian is back up and we're just waiting either. Yeah. Okay. Pretty much just waiting for his batteries to heal over.
Looks like some of the back of the pack making their way through. So the right side, with the arrows pointing towards the camera, that's where the leaders will be coming out. They'll make the loop, make their way towards the left, back into the woods and towards home.
All right, I have to bring it back home now.
All right, Madeline, you are up your sole camera.
I can still.
I was gonna say, yeah, if you've got stuff, we'll come to you.
Oh, is that the leader drone?
Oh, all right, we're going to go to Brian then. Brian is up.
And I believe that is our leader. Into the home stretch. So make a loop around that set of trees and then head back into the woods, make a left, come out.
They're not coming over there anymore. They're done from over there. You can make your way over this way. Oh, okay. Well then, yeah.
See a lot. I can hear a lot more of the competitors being cheered on now as they make their ways around.
Over by you now, right? Okay. I think if the clock's in front, I have no idea time-wise, but I can definitely tell Brian's drone wants to land.
I gotta bring it back.
So,
Madeline, you are up. You are our sole camera, so let's go ahead.
Take a look at some of the runners now. Momentarily, we'll get Brian Skaronski here on the headset. If you look at some more of the competitors making that first trip around off the bridge. Hello to Shannon Roach watching as well. Vincent Melcher, go Knights. Thanks for watching, Vincent. There are the fans relocating to the final stretch, as well as right here at the home stretch, as we're about maybe 4 minutes away from our leader making her way up the wooden ramp. And back down here. And once we get our top few finishers, we'll talk to a couple of them, and then our champion will be our girls MVP, brought to you by Morrow County Hospital. Also want to thank Andy Bauer and Edward Jones, financial advisor, as well as Ruth Farms and Frito-Lay.
Madeline, you're not on the camera.
The participants for this girls' race, the same as the boys. Northmor, Buckeye Central, Bucyrus, East Knox, Elgin, Fredericktown, Highland, Loudonville, Lucas, Pleasant, Gallion, Danville, Centerburg, Mansfield Christian, Old Fort, and Ridgedale. So there are your participants for the girls, same as the boys. As we await our leader. There she is. Here comes our first participant. As we welcome Brian Skoronsky in as our Loudonville racer is about to make her way to the finish line.
And I definitely look forward to hearing her perspective on just running in these conditions. It's been at least cloudy-ish during the girls' race, but the heat index very high, as you've been talking about during this race.
We got sweat dripping down our faces, man. We haven't been doing much.
I'm just flying a drone around, and I feel like I've been through a lot.
And here's our winner. She said, her teammates said that she was probably going to win this.
They was right.
And yeah, she has plenty of time to recover, so she gave it her all, as you can see.
What time are we looking at here?
So we're going to let her get her breath, get recovered, get some water. We'll talk to her in a little bit, our MVP, but that's what some of those racers do, Brian. They give it their all no matter what. That's somebody that wants to give it their all. As our second runners getting ready to come.
Yeah, first place finisher here.
Yep, here they come.
Needing help just getting over to a chair to sit down. You can tell she pushed herself out the gates. She set a pace and a standard that was tough to keep up with, but you got to give her a lot of credit. Continued. She not only stayed in front of the pack, she increased her lead as the race went on. So her pace came out hot and just kept sizzling all the way through.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we saw with Ryan Lehman as well. Here comes our number 2 finisher with a head of speed.
Yeah,
Centerburg, the Lady Trojans get number 2. There's Mansfield Christian, the Flames with number 3. Then a Northmor Golden Knight at 4. Very competitive ending there. Centerburg, Trojans, she had a little bit of extra gas in there. Lady Dog of East Knox finishes out the top 5.
So no dominant team in the field here today as you round out the first 5 placers, all from different schools.
A couple more competitors making their way in.
And it lets you see how competitive of a field this was outside of the first place finisher, who I believe had a good 30-second margin.
And it looked like that the whole time. Pleasant Lady Spartans, our number 6 finisher. We had 2 boys finish under 18 minutes. That was it. Usually we have a faster time, but with this heat, it's very hard to get that out. Lady Freddie finishing here in the top 10, and another Lady Knight. So our first team with multiple finishers is Northmor.
Very fitting, running on their own course here, so very comfortable with it. Of course, they participate every year, but I get the feeling that from talking to some of these athletes, they like this course. Running in and through the woods, popping back out, being close here to the stadium. So most of these teams probably are here each and every season.
Yeah. It's the 50th Northmor meet. Most of these squads, especially KMAX squads, other than Mount Gilead, because they're one of those high competing teams. They're kind of like a Lexington or a Shelby, that they don't run in some of the local races. They go more competitive, I guess you could say, even though this is a very competitive race. You had some All-Ohioans always running in it, as Northmor and I believe it's Pleasant. Here comes our first Lady Cub of Lucas finishing, but it's very competitive nonetheless. And these runners, for the first couple of weeks, they will be running in some meets that are very, very hot. We got a race for the finish here. Freddie's beat Pleasant out. She continued to see some of the finishers coming out here. Big race now. Galleon. Okay. They decided to stick with each other. Lady Freddie's finish. Another Lady Freddie, East Knox. Our first Highland participant will finish. Then another Golden Knights in Northmor, Fredericktown. Great showing here. Will it be enough to get the team title? I heard a rumor that 3 KMAX squads finishes the top 3 for the boys' side. See a bucket from Buckeye Central finishing right ahead of Pleasant and Highland.
And you finished 3rd?
Yes.
So we're joined now. I've got Megan Tem of Mansfield Christian, who finished 3rd here today. And we were just talking, you finished 21:35. Definitely not the type of time that you or a lot of the girls out here are wanting to hit. But given these conditions, you got to feel pretty good finishing, of course, in that top 3.
Yes. I was thinking I was hoping for top 10 today. So I was happy when I got up to the front and could hold it.
Talk to me about exceeding your expectations, and how do you think the race played out that allowed you to break through not just in the top 10, but be at the front of the pack?
It's really just holding. It's a mental game, and just being able to hold. Because in your head, you just keep telling yourself, "Oh, I need to slow down. I need to slow down. This is too fast." But telling yourself that not to slow down. I personally, I always write a verse on my hand to keep in my head, to keep telling myself. Just having something in your mind that can push you through the whole race. You have to keep reminding yourself the entire time to keep going helps.
What is that Bible verse that you quote to yourself?
2 Corinthians 10, 8, or 2 Corinthians 12, 8 through 10.
Do you know those off the top of your head? Maybe you can help us here when we're doing our broadcast and things aren't going so swell.
It's about basically Peter was saying how when we're weak that we're actually strong. So in our race, Peter is asking God to take it away from him, his pain. But God told him that when he's weak, he's stronger. So basically, when we're weak in our race, we're really stronger with God.
That's so beautifully put and definitely helped elevate you here today. Congratulations on a top 3 finish. Is there anybody that you want to thank for helping you get in this position?
My coach, he's helped me a lot and pushed me. And the girl who got second, we pushed each other the whole time.
All right, speaking of that second place girl, we're going to hear from her next. Thanks so much, Megan.
Thank you so much.
So Megan Tem of Mansfield Christian, third place finisher today, despite some unbelievably tough conditions. And as we see a big group of girls now coming in, it lets you see what kind of separation there is from the front of the pack to the rest of the field. Certainly the first place finisher, who we are going to hear from eventually. Just getting her wits about her, got an ice pack on top of her head, and lets you know that conditions are so big when it comes to this sport. When you're pushing yourself for more than 3 miles at a pace of 7 minutes per mile, roughly here today, so challenging, as any athlete knows, to try to train in these conditions. It's muggy, over 100 degrees on the heat index today, and these athletes pushing through, grinding, and getting themselves across the finish line. As we're getting down to the nitty-gritty, just a few more runners remain out on the course. But one lady who's been done for a while, Miss Peyton Tucker of Centerburg, joining us right here now live on the OH Report. Break down the race for me and your strategy from the beginning, because it looked like you were kind of out near the front of the pack, and then just take me from there and what you had to do to maintain.
Well, I just wanted to get out fast so that way I had that lead, and I just wanted to maintain like a constant pace throughout the race so that way I didn't like die out the first mile.
What is your strategy for doing that? I see that you're not wearing a watch that keeps a pace or anything. How do you know within your own mind or your body that you're running at the pace that you need to?
I kind of just feel it. Like I know like if I'm dying, I should slow down. If I feel like I'm going too slow, I speed up.
You had a very nice kick at the end of the race. I was impressed with that. So when you dive deep like that, what is the sensation that comes over your body where you see the finish line?
I'm almost done. Like it's right there. I can get this done and then sit down and get water and just be done with the race.
How many competitions have you ran in so far this season?
This was my first race.
Very first one. So coming out of the gates, running in this heat in a tough course like this, give me your overall grade on yourself and what you accomplished here.
I think I did really good, like a 10 out of 10 for the first race.
Let's go.
Yeah, I wasn't too far off my PR. Like, I think I did really good for the first race in this hot weather. And yeah.
So moving forward for the rest of the season, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go from here?
Well, I want to definitely get faster and like PR. Yeah, I just keep improving. There's only up from here.
All right, Peyton, is there anybody that you want to shout out here today that helped get you in a position where you're number 2 and a 10 out of 10 on your Richter scale?
My coach.
Okay.
My coach.
All right, congratulations, Centerburg Trojan Peyton Tucker finishing second today.
Thank you.
We're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we've got our MVP. That's on the other side.
Let's go!
Health is the official sports medicine provider of Northmor High School. Available 24/7 to care for your athletes with same-day appointment options. We keep your athletes healthy and in the game. Ohio Health is proud to partner with Northmor High School to provide a healthier community. We are healthcare experts close to home, serving teams, parents, and all of Morrow County. Ohio Health. Believe in we.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
We return now with our Morrow County Hospital MVP, Tess Schultz, the winner today, dusting the field by at least half a minute. And you got out to a very quick start. Let's begin there and tell me, was that the strategy to get to the head of the field right away?
No, I was going to go and stay out with the top and then just kind of weave my way through and hopefully get up to the front. I know there were some tough runners here today, but I just went out there and I did what I do.
Your pace was unbelievable. You broke away from the pack within the first probably 40 seconds of the race. To maintain that speed, what did it take for you mentally given the heat and the conditions today?
It took quite a bit because I know it was really hot out today, but I just wished all the rest of my competition luck and I kind of just went with it. I knew I had to stick with the pace. Whenever I was coming in the last 100 meters, I started to see little stars, but I just knew if I crossed the line, there would be help and I could get through with it. It was so much fun. And I mean, cross country has been like, I didn't know it was going to be my thing, but it's my thing now, and I'm like just so happy. And everybody here is so nice, and it's just been so awesome.
Fantastic watching you get that first place finish. Grueling on your body after you cross the finish line. You need a little bit of assistance. Getting to that point where you've pushed yourself to the absolute maximum. What did that feel like, the recovery phase there for about 2-3 minutes?
I thought I was going to lose consciousness, but I still feel a little dizzy and everything. But I know that after this, I get to go home and I get to go to sleep. I got to start school tomorrow.
Oh.
So... yeah, I was just so happy that there was help and everything. Everybody's just so awesome, and the competition is so nice.
But winning, even nicer, of course. A big cherry on top, and worth it pushing yourself in these extreme conditions today. So this is the very beginning of the season. Getting this dub right here at the onset of it, what do you think this can do for you moving forward for the rest of your campaign?
I think I'm going to get faster. I know most of our races are in the morning, so it's going to be a bit cooler. I hope to make it down to state again. I knew this was hard, but I was like, well, I did it last year, and Elsa Holmes was there with me. I'd raced against her a lot throughout the season, so
she graduated now and everything, but she was my motivation. She was my push. But yeah, I think this is going to be a pretty awesome season, especially with the rest of my team and everything.
Well, nobody out here to push you today. You flat out killed the competition. Congratulations. Is there anybody that you want to give a shout out to? Now's your moment.
Absolutely. I want to shout out to my mom, my dad, my grandpa, everybody in my family. They cheer me on, and they helped me get my mileage in this summer, 215 miles. And I want to give a shout out to all my coaches, all my teammates, especially the 2 freshmen that make it possible this year. And their names are Ashlyn Campbell, Bailey, Henry. They're amazing girls. I hope they stick with it. And I want to give a shout out to our seniors and everybody in the school system, our new superintendent, everybody. Just like they're all so awesome.
Putting on for the entire city of Loudonville, putting them on her back today, and the work paid off. Not a lot of people put that many miles on their car during the summer. Tess Schultz, that's why you're MVP, presented by Morrow County Hospital.
3, 2, 1, let's go!
Ohio Health is the official sports medicine provider of Northmor High School. Available 24/7 to care for your athletes with same-day appointment options. We keep your athletes healthy and in the game. Ohio Health is proud to partner with Northmor High School to provide a healthier community. We are healthcare experts close to home, serving teams, parents, and all of Morrow County. Ohio Health. Believe in we.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Today's 50th annual Northmor Cross Country Invitational brought to you live and free thanks to our generous sponsors. Morrow County Hospital, providing great care locally so patients do not have to travel far to receive quality expert health care. Ruth's Farms. They specialize in bred, born, and raised freezer beef since 1948. Call Zach Ruth to order yours at 419-989-0341. That's once again 419-989-0341. It is OH Report improved freezer beef. Frito-Lay, we are driven and inspired by our purpose, food that matters for life's moments. And Andy Bauer, Edward Jones Investors, whether you're planning for retirement, saving for college, grandchildren, or just trying to protect the financial future of the ones you care about most, Andy can develop specific strategies to help you achieve your goals. As we bring you back here, taking a look at the trophies. Brian, we have the results of the boys' race. Now, this is how they do it for people that don't know cross country. You get first place, you get a 1. It's the team, the top 5 runners that have the lowest number. It's kind of like golf. So if you finish 15th, you get a 15, things like that. It came down between Northmor and Pleasant. It came literally down to the number 5 runners. They have more. You can have 7, 8, 9 runners. They take the top 5 scores. Top 4 scores, Pleasant actually had a lead on the Northmor boys by a couple, but it was that 5th runner that finished 23rd compared to 45th. That's your difference in first and second place. So you know that you need to have that 5th runner that can finish in the middle of the pack, because it could make the difference between first place and maybe 5th place, Brian.
And that's what helped propel Northmor here today to get this victory in tough conditions. Of course, we've been talking about it throughout the course of the afternoon. Bryce Cooper was that number 5 finisher for the Golden Knights today, so came up clutch. And, of course, we already talked to Ryan Lehman. What a race he ran. He beat everybody by 42 seconds today. Absolutely absurd out here in this heat, and as muggy as it is. And he said that he was definitely not happy with his run today. And a lot of these athletes, this is their first competition of the season. So what a way to start when it's 100 degrees plus on the heat index out here to, hey, welcome to high school sports, guys. It's back.
Yeah, and they say they're disappointed, but you're playing in this heat. You're running in this heat. It's not going to be like this when you get towards your conference meets. It's not going to be that much. It's not going to be that much. It's going to be 20, 30 degrees cooler once you get to the KMAC meet or the MOAC meet, once you get to districts, regionals. So, yeah, those times are probably going to come down because you're not going to be running in heat, losing more of that water content that way.
100%, and that's what we heard from the winner of the girls' race. Miss Schultz was talking about the fact that they're going to be running in the morning, starting basically next week for the bulk majority of her competitions. There's a couple that are in the afternoon, but those morning runs, they just feel a little bit better. You haven't had the stress of the day yet, so it's the first thing that you do. So times are going to continue to drop. This is just a good one to start off the season. There's a lot of teams out here, and we heard from all the winners today that it was a good group to get pushed here early on in the season. A lot of small schools out here, so it's a barometer. Where do I really shake out in the district when we start getting to that point of the season? So I think a good jump-off point for a lot of these schools, specifically in the KMAC too, because now they're eyeballing who do I have to go after within the league if I want to be a top contender.
Well, and I believe state champion Mount Gilead, who did not run in this, their junior hires are going to be running in the next couple of races, but the varsity squad, they aren't here. So it's pretty much seeing who's going to be up front to be that top competitor going against Mount Gilead. It's like the UFC, you have the number 1 contender, you have number 2 contenders going up against the champion. Who's that number 1 contender going up? And it looks like it's the Northmor Golden Knights that might be that number 1 contender. Then you had a couple other teams. Fredericktown finished 3rd, so maybe them as well if they can get a good race. But I have a feeling that top of the list going up against Mount Gilead, it might change as the weather cools down a little bit too, because you really have to plan your race out differently when it's hotter like this as well, because you don't want to push yourself too much and collapse before you make the finish line, things like that. So it's going to help you out here, this race, but too, it's a good indication of where you're at early on.
And as we saw this past weekend in the UFC, all you have to do is put yourself in the mix where you are a contender and you get a shot. We saw Sugar Sean O'Malley, the number 2 contender, knock out the undisputed champion, and now he's at the top of the heap. So some of these other schools that have been looking at Mount Gilead and they're at the top of the mountain, looking at everybody else in the rear view. Maybe this was a bit of a confidence boost not to have them here today, to get out, and certainly for Northmor, I think overall as a unit, this is a great place to start on your home track. Come out, get a dub, feel good about yourself heading into the second weekend of the season.
Yeah, and for teams like Highland or Galleon, it's can we be better to compete against Shelby? Because Shelby's going to be that number 1 contender when it comes time for the MOAC meet. But, yeah, this is a great race. That's why it's the 50th. They've run this 49 times, including today for the 50th race. It's a premier early season small school race, but, you know, likes of Highland and Galleon also. Whoever wants to come in the Crawford, Morrow, Richland County area. We saw Mansfield Christian girls. We saw Lucas boys and girls here as well. So, you know, it's good for some of these other schools just to get out here and practice against some better competition as well.
Great way to start off the season. Glad OH Report can be out here doing just our second ever live stream for cross country. And cool that we got our drone up and was getting some live shots for the first time in our history too. So plenty more awesome stuff to come in terms of our live coverage for the rest of the season, not just cross country, but of course volleyball starts up this week. Geeked about that. Soccer, we've got plenty of live streams, and then Friday Night Football, you already know this is the place to be for all your coverage.
And actually, they're posting the girls' finishers right now. Let me get a picture of that, and I'll let you know who won this whole thing. So keep, do what you do best, Brian, and keep talking.
We'll keep the people entertained while we find out who the team winner is here this afternoon for the ladies. And for the guys today, we saw Ryan Lehman cross the finish line first. You heard also from Matthew Miller and Nick Swartz of Highland and Pleasant finishing 2 and 3. But what's crazy is Swartz a full minute behind Lehman today, who really did tear up the course. And he talked about the fact that some of those Mount Gilead guys were the runners that he's looked up to these last couple of seasons since he's been in the high school ranks. So maybe Northmor can be that team to push them, give them some competition within the KMEC. Time will tell here this season if that becomes the case. But Travis is back, and he's got your results for the girls. Who is the winner today, Trav, for the teams?
Well, but first, I'm going to do the top 10 winners, top 10 finishers. Then we'll get to the victor. Tess Schultz, Loudonville, her official time, 20 minutes, 21 seconds, .09. Peyton Tucker, Centerburg, finished second, 21 minutes, 41 seconds, .45. Then Megan Tem, Mansfield Christian, 21:44.45. Mansfield Christian didn't have enough to field a full team, so she doesn't get points. So that number 3 finisher will go to Northmore's Kate Lehman, Ryan's sister, finishes in the top 4, 21:50. East Knox Taylor Sievert, 22:01. Pleasant's Casey Kimball, 22:25. Fredericktown's Angela Overholt, 22:42. She finished in 7th. In 8th place, another Lady Knight, Ryan Brinkman, 22:54. In 9th place from Fredericktown, Taylor Brown with a 23:05. And then rounding out the top 10, Nevaeh Metzger, basketball player from the Buckettes of Buckeye Central, also runs cross country, 23:25. Your winners, once again, Fredericktown finished with a team total of 61, 2 points ahead of Northmor.
Wow. Oh, wow, what a race.
And that came down once again to the 4 and 5s. Fredericktown, they had 6-8, the 6th team finisher, 8th team finisher, 12-17, 18. Northmor went 3-7-10, 21 and 22. That's the difference. In 3rd place was Pleasant with 86 points, and then Galleon 121, Highland 150. So 2 MOAC teams finishing in the top 5. 2 KMAC squads, 1-2. Actually 3 MOACs. I forgot Pleasant. So Pleasant, Galleon, Highland. The 3 MOAC squads go 3-4-5, but not in front of Northmor and Fredericktown, the top 2 finishers.
Congratulations to all the competitors today coming out here, braving the heat, getting it done, running fast. Want to thank everybody who tuned in here today. glad that y'all could hang out in the AC while we was out here bringing you the live coverage, but that's what we do on the OH Report. And lots more coming up here this week, as I just outlined, so make sure that you keep it locked in. We are the future of high school sports. So long, y'all.